Dear Mira, last night I fell asleep thinking about the lost souls of Aubergine. I saw the beseeching eyes of Volker as he pleaded for me to find Grimclaw. Then seeing Grimclaw bent over his unmoving body, I realized I was dreaming. Suddenly, I was back in Drustver, kneeling before the Drust totem. I heard Ira speaking behind me, guiding me to embrace the spirits of nature. The lithe limbs of the feral cat stretched through me and became me as I completed the first transformation. I was enthralled with my new eyesight and agility. I felt almost giddy at being so free. The transformation back to man left me feeling deprived, almost nostalgic for the last mere moments. But the lesson was not finished. Next, I was tasked with calling upon the stag. If I felt agile in cat form, the stag felt like wind itself. Horns sprouted and legs bent to propel me at speeds I'd only ever felt once when riding with my father as we galloped through the woods. On our old horse Bow, Ira let me get the running out of my system before finally instructing me on the final form. I was tasked with calling upon the bear. Bone, bark and sinew enshrouded me. I grew larger than I'd ever felt, and stronger. I felt invulnerable. I've never been much of a fighter, but the bear didn't have to be. It could stand toe-to-toe and outlast anyone. Then, suddenly, I was back in Laudanell, standing before Volker. Grimclaw met my gaze and nodded. At this, I was pulled back and out of the inn and entered the water. All cool Tyrans can swim, but this time, the skill eluded me. I sank to the bottom. Though my arms tread water, I was too heavy. Panic took over, and I tried all the harder to somehow climb from the water. I kicked my feet and paddled in vain. I was beginning to run out of breath. As I fought my own impotent body, I felt the familiar pull of sinew and bark forming around me. Suddenly, I was propelled at an alarming speed through the water. Stunned, but still trying to get to the surface, I swam as fast as I could to get a breath. Then I realized I could already breathe. I saw flippers instead of hands, and two jagged tusks growing from me. I awoke from my dream, smiling. I walked down to the shore and waded into the water. Not sure if it would work, but I did feel the transformation again, and it happened. I was now able to become the sea lion at will while in the water. It was hard not to feel overjoyed, even in such a solemn town. It would have been foolish to think that my display had gone unnoticed. A dwarf immediately called me over. He had a task assisting in clearing out an infestation of murlocs off the coast, and my new form made me more suited to get there and back than anyone else in the camp. When returning to town, another elf, Whiteclaw, pulled me aside. He stated that he had seen the spirit of his long-lost beloved haunting the wood's north ruins. He did not have the heart to release her spirit, and asked me if I could in his stead. Thinking of you, I would not want your spirit to be at unrest, and so agreed to the sad task. Near the entrance to the ruins, a sentinel requested aid. It was an ancient city, haunted by the spirits of the highborn who had passed here. She tasked me with extinguishing the final flame. I set about the grim task, my heart sinking as each highborn disapparated between my claws. It broke my heart. I felt like an invader as I extinguished the flame. The change was immediate. The hope that these beings would again regain their immortality flickered out with that final flame. Then, through bleary eyes, I saw her across the ruins. She was a beautiful highborn in a bright summer dress. In her face I saw you, Mira. She did not disapparate like the rest of the spirits. Silently, she fell to the grass. The pendant Whiteclaw had requested was around her neck and came off as if pulling through a current. I was suddenly sick, and had to hearth back to Lord Donnell. I could no longer bear the silence of that place. Whiteclaw clasped my hands as I handed him the pendant. He thanked me for doing what he could not. When I left, I could have sworn I saw Anya standing before him, but at next glance, all I saw was Whiteclaw weeping. Even after all this time, I wish I could have said goodbye. I wish I could have laid you to rest. As I did Ira, I know burials at sea are common among our people, but you weren't honored. You were simply lost. I wish that I could hold a pendant of yours and know your spirit was with me, as Whiteclaw has Anya's. Words cannot express how much I miss you, but I hope that wherever the tides have taken you, you will wait for me. Forever yours, Ulric.